So Albo, who promised us no more bloody secrets, blanket rank hypocrisy that makes us hate politicians and hate politics in general. Okay, punters, so not great news if you care about knowing what the bloody hell our government is up to. Albo comes out worse than Scott Morrison on keeping secrets. For you short attention span punts, I made an Instagram reel about it. Let's take a watch. If you've seen it, skip it. We'll chat after.
Hey, are you going to ban gambling ads? No. Oh, I thought the report you released said that we should do it and it's pretty popular, so yeah, but we changed our minds. Can I ask why? No. Oh, come on, let me at least see your draft response. No. Oh, but well, why not? Because I don't want to tell you. And it's none of your business. Well, you work for me and you have to tell me. No, I don't. Oh, we'll see about that. I'll just file a Freedom of Information request right now. I'll just reject it. You can't do that. Oh, can't I? You've rejected more FOIs than Scott Morrison. How is that even possible? Oh, really? Okay, well, at least tell me if the thousands of dollars in political donations from gambling companies had anything to do with you changing your mind. Just blink if it had anything to do with the secret lunch that you had with gambling executives. You can't redact your eyes. Says who?
All right, punters, as I pointed out on almost every single video I make, our government is compromised. It's called corporate capture. It is owned and controlled by vested interests, whether that's gambling lobby, but it's definitely fossil fuel lobbyists. It's lobbyists across the board. Corporations get a lot of money, Rupert Murdoch, obviously, and so they do different things to control our government, whether that is give them political donations, which the gambling lobby successfully donated their way out of any meaningful reform, which I point out in that video, which isn't the point of this video. They have media machines that can attack the government. They have previous workers that worked at their corporation, at the gas cartel or in the mining company that work in government and then work back out. It's called a revolving door. Politicians themselves make the rules, go work in these industries. We do not trust our government, and that is why. They keep making stupid decisions that never benefit us and always benefit these large corporations, and we want to ask them why. And when we come to check their homework and say, this law sucks, show me how you got there, that is when transparency is so important, so that we at least know how much money has been donated from gambling cartels. When did they have meetings with these people that I point out in this video? They had pay-for-play lunches where they buy a ticket or whatever, it skirts the donation loopholes, and then the minister meets with gambling executives, and all of a sudden, the gambling reform bill that everyone wants and everyone will benefit from doesn't pass because Rupert Murdoch and his gambling cronies don't want it to pass, so it doesn't pass. And in order for us to see this and piece together this picture, that's when we rely on access to government information, access to closed-door meetings, access to advice, so that we can check their bloody homework. And we thought we were done with it when Scott Morrison, after secretly taking on 5 ministries that not even some of the ministers themselves knew about it, the most secretive government, I thought, the most dodgy government we could have had. No. We've topped it with this. Secretive Albanese government goes backwards on transparency. So Labor is hiding. And this rubs really, really deep. Take a look at this. This is a video from Swollen Pickles, who does some bloody great videos. He also has a great video on this topic that I'm talking about, so definitely go and watch that. But there's some clips he pulled to show just the blanket rank hypocrisy that makes us hate politicians and hate politics in general. This is it. Let's take a look.
Whilst in opposition in the lead up to the 2022 federal election and its immediate aftermath, Anthony Albanese was making some pretty bold promises.
I am going to change the culture of our party and ensure that we are worthy of the people's respect and trust. The Australian people voted for a better future.
So 2019, he says it. 2022, he says it again.
Australians have placed their trust in our new Labor government, and I thank them for it.
Oh,
we are determined to repay that trust by demonstrating a commitment to transparency and integrity, holding ourselves to a higher standard of behaviour then it's not illegal.
Holding ourselves to a higher standard than it's not illegal. So let's move to hide more things using the law. Let's make more things legal. At the very least, Smuggo ScoMo didn't walk around saying how he's going to be super transparent and accountable and all of those things. No, he just went about it, did it, and didn't at least pretend. And that's what rubs this such the wrong way. So let's get data on this. Maybe all the Labor rusties are losing their mind, but that's my team member. I only care about transparency when it's the other team. No, if you care about trusting government, you should care about it no matter which colour bloody team is in. And if your team is letting us down, you need to hold them to account and threaten to not vote for them. We have a beautiful preferential system where you don't have to vote for your team just because the other team is even worse. So let's take a look at this. Labor is hiding information from the public more often than Morrison government, despite campaigning on a platform of integrity. Analysis from the Centre of Public Integrity shows Canberra's culture of secrecy has sunk to its worst point in more than a decade, with the proportion of FOI requests released in full plummeting from almost half. So half the requests were just given in full, yet no reason to hide this information, all good in 2021-22, to just 25% under Labor in 23-24. So the government is increasingly releasing documents filled with black ink, and Labor is more often ignoring Senate vote requests detailing policies on ministers' decision-making. Hey, why did you make that decision? Nah, we don't need to tell you that. Yes, you bloody do. You work for us. That's what the Senate's for, to check your homework so that you don't stiff us. Here's the graphs just going on here. Here's 2011. So granted in full, we were at 60% in 2011. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And then 2019, and just here with Smug ScoMo, it plummets. Not a great sign. And then bumps up and then absolutely hits rock bottom. And then this yellow line is just outright refused. So obviously under ScoMo, he had that same pattern, and I guess he opened the floodgate. Well, if ScoMo did it, why the bloody hell won't I do it? And up he goes, outperforming ScoMo in refusing and not granting. Public interest immunity rejections, 61% to 67%. So he outperformed Scott Morrison there. And back to Swollen Pickles' video here, who's just so good at pulling footage, which I have no idea how he finds all this stuff. He pulls up Pocock here. Take a look at this.
Why? It's likely to look like this document Senator David Pocock is holding, heavily redacted and no doubt costing taxpayers a ton of money in black ink.
This is what the government is releasing. And you call this accountable? Now, this is what it looks like, punters, when power entrenches power. They campaign on whatever platform. Yeah, integrity sounds really good. And then they get power. Honestly, it can be as simple as we don't want to be embarrassed. We want politics to be easy for us. And if people scrutinize us, they might attack us, and passing the bills we want to pass will get harder. Trust me, they will have all these beautiful excuses. Just talk to any Labor rusty. They'll have all these excuses as to why they should be hiding this information or not hiding this information. You either believe in government transparency and democracy and holding governments to account and being able to see what happens behind closed doors. Sure, there are some things that you do, for good reason, need to keep from the public. But I guarantee this increase isn't that. All of a sudden we discovered, no, like we can't release this sort of stuff. They just don't want to be embarrassed when they make bad decisions. They want to hide their dodgy connections as to why the bills they're passing don't work for us and work for the corporates that fund them their money. The example I gave in that Instagram reel is why the bloody hell hasn't the government passed the legislation that it held the hearings on? Labor members pushed for it. Everyone agrees with it. The only people that don't want it is Rupert Murdoch and gambling companies. And guess who gets their way? They do. So I want to see their homework. I want to see what the advice is. I want to see who you're meeting with. I want to see your donations. I want to see your cash for access meetings that your Labor Party business club collects money from and who you're meeting with in there. So yeah, granted in full, dropped in half, outright refusals doubled. Wait time increase. Whoa, wait time increase from 6 months to 15 months. You know, that's half a government term. So if I apply for something now, Albo may be out of office by the time I can find out what dodgy dealings might have or might not have gone on. This is not acceptable. That's a polite way to put it. And this is what happens with Albanese's supermajority. He believes he has so much power, he wants to entrench that power as much as he can. And rather than doing what we elected him to do, fix the housing crisis, sort that out. We know it's hard. So bloody get going. This is your second term. You might get one more. And what are you doing with it? This is what you're doing with it. Albanese government had a worse compliant rate with Senate orders for the production of documents than its coalition predecessor. The Senate is there to check your homework and you will not comply for whatever made up BS reasons that you come up with. Senate for Public Integrity, Professor Gabrielle says ministers are hiding information from the Senate and the Australian people. Yes, they bloody are. In 2023, the Prime Minister's office had initially refused to release the ministerial diary under Freedom of Information laws and said it would unreasonably divert staff resources. This you sound like Scott. You sound like Malcolm Turnbull. You sound like Scott Morrison. Oh, we don't want to waste government resources on transparency and just trust us. We don't. It would take too many resources. Decision was subsequently reversed, so that's good. I think it went to court or something. Fact check that. Wait, punters, so I don't really know what's going on with YouTube lately, but there's something going on and it's not great. So if you want to see these videos, hit the sub, hit the bell icon, and if you really enjoy what I'm doing, you can head to punterspolitics.com, pick yourself up some merch. Anyway, back to it. And then Albo goes a step further, which once again, watch this video on Swollen Pickles. He'll explain it in way better detail than I can. Government's plans to charge for freedom of information requests labelled a truth tax. You know, this is the best ammunition for the Liberal Party to ever take up on, because you know what? They're actually right on this one, which is mind-bending to say. The Albanese government has introduced legislation to overhaul the freedom of information laws by allowing blanket refusals. So the thing they're doing right now, they're going, hey, let's pass laws to make what we're doing legal and totally fine. They're saying they want to be able to refuse requests that would take more than 40 hours to action. Shouldn't you be looking at whether that information is for the public interest or not? And I believe they also want to get rid of anonymous requests. Given Australia's track record of literally using courts to prosecute whistleblowers, when we want to hold you to account and we have to put our name on it, that does give the government quite the option to go, hang on, someone's looking into this. Maybe we should do whatever we can to stop them from looking into this. I mean, honestly, if Scott Morrison was doing this or any other Liberal Prime Minister, you would see everyone losing their mind. And I'm hoping people losing their mind when Albo's doing it. Let's take a look at Albo's excuses for this. He said on radio, I think most people would find it surprising that people can put in anonymous FOI requests. No, it's not surprising. If I want to hold you to account, but I don't want you knowing knowing who I am, because if I'm going to blow the whistle on you or I'm going to hold you to account, you're not going to want that. So it's better you not knowing who I am, because the government has a lot of powers. They have the legal right to lock you up. They have the right to use guns and force. We don't. So yeah, I can understand why it's a useful thing to have anonymous actors in there, and maybe, I don't know, whistleblower protections, which didn't you say something about wanting to like protect whistleblowers? Oh no, you continued prosecuting them. That's right. Another thing you said and are not doing. Okay, here's and this, oh my gosh, did he steal this from the Liberal Party? This is ScoMo right here. What that means is there is no way to determine whether a foreign agent or actor is putting in the request about information that are sensitive. Once again, if it's sensitive information, you go, is this public interest? Is it not? And should the public know or should they not? This is how our democracy works. But it could be, it's national security. This is a Liberal Party talking point. Oh, it's national security. We can't talk about on-water matters or whatever the excuse is. And then they hide and do dodgy things and siphon contracts to their mates, making millionaires, but national security, right? Yeah, we have allowances in the law for national security. So if a bad actor is trying to go, hey, please tell us your codes for your submarines that you don't have yet, that wouldn't pass. Anyway, and then the bill would stamp out anonymous requests and introduce new powers to block vexatious, otherwise abusive requests. We're protecting them now. It's designed to make sure that we can prioritize genuine FOI requests. I don't know. Are you buying any of this? Because I bloody am not. Anyone that comes at public transparency and is refusing information and being more secretive and not doing what they said and proving to be a hypocrite, I have a massive problem with. Do you have a problem with that, punters? Let me know in the comments below. Anyway, massive thanks to We the Punters over on Patreon. These are the punters that keep me making the videos that I think are important, like this one. I know it's boring and no one pays attention to it. It's not sexy, it's not glamorous, but this is the fundamental structures of our democracy that I really care about. Maybe you do too. Feel free to share this video with a punter who might not know just how scammed we're getting, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, punts.